You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in that little person. You have to believe for your kids.
Dang.
Initially, I started.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of TelaTash. I'm your host, Dr. Tash. Today we have a magnificent guest speaker. She works in law enforcement. She's so resilient. She's a big believer on family, on faith, her friends. She's my backbone, my rock, my ride or die. I knew this young lady for over 30 years, and no one can replace her. So please, guys, put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Ashley. Joy.
I'm so proud of you. Known this girl, like she said, known each other for like 30 plus years. You've been around through my highs, my lows, my ups and downs. Like, I don't even consider you a friend.
No.
You are my sister. Like, we share this sisterhood and we've been locked in from since
Day one.
From day one. It's always been us.
Yeah, Ashley and Tasha.
We've been locked in ever since. So when she came up with the idea of TelaTash, she didn't even have to ask. I was like, man, I can't wait to tell my story. I can't wait to tell my story because I don't, like, as much as you've been around, you've known everything that I've been through, I don't think I ever spoke about it. Like, I never really went into depth on everything that went down. So I'm here to
and that is one of the things that I admire you about, because you went through so much in life, right? So much, and not once have you put your burden on your friends, on your family, on your partner, and I think you held everything in and you kept silent. Why?
I don't know, it's just me. Like, I never wanted to be a burden to anybody. Like, if I was going through something, nobody would know. Like, if you wasn't around, like, if you wasn't, like, in my core circle, you knew what was going on. But outside of that, nobody didn't really know. Like, especially, like, when my dad was sick. I don't even know if some people knew that my mom was sick at one point. Nobody really knew unless you was, like, in my inner circle. And you was there, you would know. But other than that, I just kept it to myself. Why? I just did. Like, I don't know. I really can't say
You're so resilient, because even when your mom was sick, we didn't even know. I think you guys kind of went through life without trying to say too much, and you kept it within your family. Yeah, but until she got better.
Like, and it's not to say that. So my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. I want to say around 2004, 2005 maybe. And it's so crazy because the way she told us, like, okay, guys, we going on a family vacation because we don't do family. I was in high school, so it had to have been, I want to say like sophomore year in high school. So I was probably like 15 or so, right? And before she told us that we were going to Jamaica. On the family trip to Jamaica. And then, hey, by the way, I have breast cancer. And I'm like, it didn't really dawn on me. Like, it dawned on me because her sister had passed from breast cancer.
So breast cancer runs in your family?
Yeah, breast cancer runs in the family. So my only interaction with breast cancer, whatnot, was with my aunt. And then she passed. So then now my mom has it, and I'm like, the way she told us, it didn't seem like it was that serious until she had the surgery. And then she had the surgery, had to, nurse her back. Yes, did treatment, nursing her back to health and stuff, because she had a mastectomy, and luckily they caught it early, and she's been in remission ever since.
Yeah, cancer-free.
Yeah, thank God, you know what I'm saying? So, I love that woman. That's the backbone of, for me. I love, oh my gosh, but the whole family, the community, look at that. I'm going to just preface this by saying that this might be a two-parter, okay? Because I'm telling you, it's so much. Yeah, it's a lot of history, guys. A lot of history, right? So
your mom went through treatment.
She went through treatment.
Your mom is a healthcare worker,
so
she works a lot of hours. I know.
Till this day, okay, this lady would not sit down. Okay, since I've been born, this lady been hustling 2-3 jobs, going day shift, night shift, like
10 jobs.
Yeah. always on the go.
So for now, for God to stop her life for a second and to say, hold on, now, and gave her breast cancer.
Yeah.
Thank God it was early detection.
Yes, thank God. Thank God it was, because, like, to be honest, I wouldn't even know if I didn't have my mom in this world. Like, I don't even know how I would be standing here right now, you know? Like, she's the one that gives me strength, because everything that she's gone through, she's still standing. Yeah. She's still fighting. She's still doing what she gotta do. She's still hustling, you know? And that's where I get all of that from. I get that from her.
Yeah. It's admirable. So take me back. Your mom went through cancer, and you guys are going through this as a family, and you guys are still working. You're still going to school. You're still playing with your friends, because we had no clue, and we lived next door to each other.
At one point, they did live next door, and then even when you guys moved, we still kept in contact. We still was connected. Like, I would say, like, we would talk every day. Yeah. Like, when they used to live next door, we used to have this thing.
We have a code. We knock on the wall. We knock on the wall. That means come outside.
Come to the window, and we would talk. We're like, what's the plans for today? Or going to Wendy's every day. Every single day.
We had our days.
Every day, right? Yeah. Because we stay had money, right?
We had money, but no money.
Yeah, we had money, but we have money, but we always had $1 or something. We stretched it.
We made it work.
So, going through all of that, and even though you guys wasn't next door to us, you guys were still living in the neighborhood. Yeah. We still connected. We still, feel down in on certain things. But I don't know if it was like my mom telling us not to say anything, like she don't want nobody in her business, but I don't know, we just kept it in-house. We didn't, everything was okay. Everything was good. Our village was there to help us, support her. And like my mom, she has a lot of friends, a lot of workers in the nursing field that has her back too. Like the whole of Brookdale, okay? Like the whole of Brookdale.
We're gonna say the name, no name.
Okay, no name.
So the hospital.
Okay, the hospital that she works at. I have her back 1,000%. Okay, so we had that support. So it wasn't as hard. Like we didn't really feel it.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So then, how are you coping with that at that time?
At that time, I was just regular. Like I was in high school, so just keep focused on my books, my studies. At the time, I wasn't in a relationship, so that was like kind of like a distraction too. But like I said, the family unit was there, so I didn't really feel it as much. Like, I had to take care of my mom, but that's my mom. I'm good, of course.
You only have one mother.
Exactly,
Like, I can't express or stress the fact that when you have a mom, and a mom like your mom, and my mom, who is loving, caring, giving their last breath, their shirt off their back for you, open their door for anybody and everybody. Your home was like the safe space, the safe haven. Like, even for me, it was, I lived with you for a short period of time, right? And your mom opened the door for me without no hesitation. As much as you were scared that time,
she was so nervous. She was so nervous. She was like,
I gotta finish my academics, and I needed a place to go because I just felt so lost. I felt overwhelmed. I felt so heavy, and there was so much distractions in my life, and the only place that I could have thought about was your home, because your home was like just happiness, joy, peace in there. Welcome in. You had food. She had all the snacks. Every snack a child would want, you had it. And when I thought about being in your home, I just said, I'm just grateful that someone sees the potential in me.
Yeah.
Because I never felt like I was ever seen or heard. Right?
Given that motivation.
And you guys gave me that motivation, that boost. Like, let's go, Tash. Go ahead, come on in.
And you know,
Open the door, young mom.
my mom is big on education.
And she's big on education.
So once you told her, like, you're trying to finish your degree.
I said 6 months. Give me 6 months. And she gave me that 6 months, and when I walked through that stage, we were like, girl, get back up. Right? No, that was it. I just needed 6 months.
Not us telling you that.
That's tied me up. No,
she knew when it was time to go.
I didn't want to overstay my life, right?
Okay.
And I was so appreciative of Auntie Gail, your mom. And I took her as that was like my mom. Everything. So when you guys told me that she was my mentor for sure. So when you guys told me she had breast cancer, it hit me because I was like, how did you guys keep that from us?
Like I said, I was in high school, so I was still a child. So like I said, I knew the seriousness of it, but I didn't realize how serious it is. Like I could really lose my mom to breast cancer. But like I said, it took that for her to kind of relax and sit because she's always on the go. She's always working. And then even when she recovered, she went right back at it. She went right back to work, doing what she do best, So when I see her do that, I'm like, okay, she's good.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to worry about, But then, with my dad now, so it is
more
our
about tell me more. I know.
She got his shits.
I got the shits. I made sure I'm gonna be here for you. So, and rest in peace to Uncle Mitch, who was Ashley's father. He was the head of her household. He was a leader. He was the dad that you wanted. The dad that showed up to all their plays, their game, their tutors, the recitals. But he was that dad.
And he's like tears. Yeah, there's sadness, but that's my dad.
That's your dad.
I promised myself I was gonna cry, but I'm like, yeah, it's impossible. I just have a soft spot for him because, that's the first man in my life.
Yeah.
But, so with my dad now, it was a lot with my dad. And I think it stems from when my mom gets sick. That's his wife. And to see that his wife is sick, that he could possibly lose her, something probably triggered in him, right? But at the time,
And he was fine.
he was fine, he was healthy.
He was healthy. He was working.
Yeah, but the thing was that he was being very forgetful. Little things, he couldn't remember where he put his keys.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, or he couldn't remember how to get home. He would always take different routes home. And we would ask him, my mom would ask him, oh, why are you going this way? You always take this way. And, as a true Caribbean man, the ego, you have to go the same way all the time, the stubbornness, So things like that. I don't even know if you remember, for my Sweet 16, the music that we had for me to walk into to the hall, we couldn't find the music. Why? Because he had it. And, my mom was like, where's the music? Don't know where the music. The whole time I was in his jacket. Right? But I don't even know, I guess we had the DJ play.
So when you guys noticed that he was becoming very forgetful, did it dawn on you that he was sick?
No, it didn't. Because like I said, he was a healthy man, always in shape. He, ate regular, he exercised, they would go to the doctor gave him a clean bill of health, so him doing all these things, I thought that's just daddy being daddy, he's getting old, he's being forgetful or whatever, small stuff. But then, he would have episodes where, so my mom would work the day shift where she would go see patients in the morning, and he would drive her. So when she was at the patient's house, she would call me, or he would call me sometimes, my mom would call me saying, oh, she don't know where my dad is. He just picked up, just drove off, randomly or whatever. Or he would call me and he'd be like, oh, he doesn't know where my mom is. And I'm like, where were you at? Because she used to work in the Bay Ridge Sunset Park area. So that was happening a lot, right? Even when he would drop her to work at night, you know, the job is not far from the house. So from there, from point A to point B, he would drop her, and then coming back, he couldn't know how. Yeah, he didn't know his way back home. So then my mom was like, no, something is going on with him. So once again, took him to the doctor. The doctor said, yeah, he's fine. There's nothing wrong.
They couldn't figure it out.
They couldn't figure it out. So we didn't know. My mom didn't. You know, she's in the medical field, but she didn't know exactly what was going on. We knew what it is now, but at the time, and like that, again, I was in high school when this incident this happened so I had graduated high school, so it was like transitioning into college, right? So I was probably like my first year in college. First year or second year. My dad was like in his early 50s. Yeah, early 50s. So one day I was at work, and my sister called me, and she was like, oh, Daddy's missing. I'm like, what do you mean Daddy's missing? Because the last time I got a phone call like that was when they lost my dog. And I'm like, they lost my dog. Called me saying that my dog is missing. I'm like, what? So, well, yeah, that's why, because she died like, years later. Rest in peace, Buffy. Right? So yes, I was working, and they called me saying that Daddy's missing. And it just so happened, two New York police officers, they came in the job, and I was asking them, what is the process when somebody's missing? So they told me like, oh, you gotta wait like 24 hours or whatever the case is before you report them missing. So I'm at work, and my mom, my aunt, my dad, one of my dad's sisters, my cousin, they were driving in the area to see like if they find it, because at that time too, like I said, my dad was with my mom at a patient house, and from the afternoon till that time, it was probably like 8 o'clock in the evening, they hadn't heard from him in so much hours, right? And then on top of that, he had all my mom's like credit card, her whole wallet, her cell phone, everything. Yeah, basically her whole purse, right? And but he had his cell phone, but like he was calling it, he wasn't answering. Yeah. So I come home from work, no signs or whatever, and then like maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we get a phone call that he was in an accident. Now
he was in a car accident.
He's in a car accident, right?
I remember that.
So remember, he's all the way in like Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Guess where they found him?
Yeah.
All the way in East Islip, Long Island. He got into an accident because the Bell Park is like around here, so he got in the belt, and I guess was just driving. Like I guess he didn't recognize the exits or anything, or he didn't even pull over to get help for direction. So,
and he wasn't in the right state of mind.
He was. I'll get to that though. So he got into an accident all the way in East Islip, and the lady that he got into the accident with, unfortunately, she ended up passing away. Yeah, right. So we all drove out there, and when we saw him, like he just looked so confused, so like discombobulated. He didn't know what was going on, and that's when we found out that he had dementia. And like I said, I'm in college. Like I don't know what these medical terms is. So my mom is trying to explain it to us, and she's like, no, that's found in the elderly, people, And like I said, my dad was like in his early 50s, so this is unheard of. So
and you mentioned something earlier. You said once your mom got sick, that's when you saw that change or that turn in your dad.
That's when we noticed it. Because like I said, he kept being forgetful, little things.
Did you feel like your dad didn't want your mom to go before him?
Like I think he was worried that she would have, because like I said, her sister passed from it. So he's hearing that she has it. That's worrying him. Like, okay, if my wife dies now, I'm gonna be a single parent. I have to, take care of the family.
Close.
I
went everywhere together.
They've known each other. They've known each other since young. They practically grew up together.
That's very deep.
Yeah.
That's very deep.
Yes.
Wow.
So can you imagine like your bestest friend in the whole world? That's like me, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it, but you know what I'm saying.
I know.
But so yeah, so when we found out the diagnosis of that, now they still had to do their investigation because they thought that he was under the influence. They were sure that he was under the influence, and he wasn't.
And he wasn't.
He wasn't drinking. He
No,
wasn't
he
under.
doesn't drink.
He doesn't
smoke.
Yeah, he doesn't do no drugs or anything like that. So they had to keep him to evaluate him, right? So every weekend, my mom and my aunt, they was going to East Islip every weekend, every Saturday. They was driving up there just to make sure that he was good, And then the one time, me and my sister.
And when you said they were driving up to East Islip, what was in East Islip?
So
the hospital.
The hospital, yeah,
he
because
was staying in? Okay.
so they kept him in the hospital because they wanted to evaluate him because, like I said, to monitor him because they thought that he was lying because of his age as well too. This is never heard of, So when my sister and I, when we went to go visit him, and I wish my mom and them would have like warned us from getting emotional.
It's okay, and this is the reason why I created TelaTash, because for people like you kept all this in. You never spoke about it. Never. I don't even think if you understand when you're replaying it or you're saying this out loud, your feelings, the things that you bottled up.
Yeah.
You bottled up a lot of things, and
so like I said, nobody, if you wasn't in my core circle, you didn't know.
Yeah. And even for me, being in your circle, you still, I think you cried so silently.
Yeah,
closed doors. And it's okay to cry. TelaTash is for that. I want you to release.
And I'm like coming here talking about it, like I don't mind you crying about it, like because I wanted to do it. You didn't have to ask me. I'm like, yeah, like, and it's been so long, like, being in it, you're not realizing it, like, what you're going through. Like, I realized what I was going through, but
you never stopped.
I just kept on going, right,
You just kept surviving. It wasn't living. You didn't understand it.
I still living, but, it's just, I know my responsibility. I had a responsibility now, So back to the story now. So my sister and I, we go to the hospital. I'll try not to get it. Right? So my sister and I, we go to the hospital to visit him, and we see that he's chained up on the bed with handcuffs. So that automatically triggered me and my sister, and we're like, oh, what is this? Like, why do you have him handcuffed like he's a criminal? My dad is not a criminal. Like, what's going on? So dad just kind of like we were pissed us off. We was bawling, like, you know my dad. You know my dad. You know my dad. You know my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that
You deserve it.
Like being in law enforcement, I understand it now. But at the time, I'm like, why do they have my dad handcuffed to the bed like he's a criminal? Like, get these things off. But now, I know it's part of the process. So he was out there.
They meant no harm.
But you're emotional. That's your family member. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. So I can't remember exactly how long he was out there for. But he was out there, I want to say at least 3 months. He was out there. And the only reason why they released him to us was because they put him on probation through the court. So he came back home. And
I remember there were like cameras in your home.
Right, so part of it was that they wanted to monitor him to make sure that he wasn't lying. So we had to get a camera to put him in to monitor him, right? So because them people out there, they not driving all the way to Brooklyn to make sure this guy is like, he's saying that he's sick. Okay, they're not gonna drive all the way out there. So what was the easiest thing to do to get a camera so they can monitor him? So basically, like I was the point of contact for the probation officer out there. So I had to set up the camera, and anytime the probation officer he wanted to like check in or whatever, I had to log in. I mean the camera was always on because they could log in, but he'll let me know like hey, like I'm gonna log in or whatever and stuff like that. So with that, but when he came home, like this wasn't my dad. Like the person that I saw, this wasn't my dad. Like he looked like a completely different person. Like he looked like an old man. You know, he looked grayed out. Like my dad in the afro.
Yeah,
like his haircut was low,
well dressed.
Yeah. His beard was like Jesus, but it was just gray and white. And like I'm like, who is this man? And he didn't remember anybody. He didn't remember
So
anybody.
he fully was full blown, had dementia at this time.
He had dementia. Like all I can say is that he just remember the one person in his life was his wife. That's the only person he remembered was his wife, right? So I think when he saw me, he called me my mom's name. I guess because he saw my mom and me. And I'm like, no, Daddy is Ashley. So that broke my heart too. I'm like, damn, like what they did to him out there, But he was home and we cleaned him up and he was looking not like his normal self, but he looked better than what he was looking before. But him being in the house, like, we noticed that we had to get him an aide because he couldn't be by himself. So like I would do little
things. He couldn't do things for himself at this time.
At this time, no. He couldn't do things for himself.
He wasn't independent for feeding, for clothing.
No, he could feed himself. At that time, he could feed himself. He could walk. He was talking, but like when he talked, it was like incoherent. Yeah, it was incoherent. So I would do little things like I would sit down with him and I would like make him write like the days of the week, the months of the year. I let him read the Bible, and even when him reading the Bible, like he was reading it, but he was struggling, and I was like, no, right, you got this, like. So I'm like, wow, this is my dad. Like, this is not my dad. This is not my dad. And then it really got hard when, like, he started to get aggressive because he doesn't, I don't know what's going in their minds, but, they always want to fight. So he was always combative. Like, I remember one time he locked my cousin Zuri in the closet. I could see her in the closet and like she's bawling, calling for help and whatnot, and getting to a little bit like that.
How old was this Serena?
See, at that time, she had to have been like maybe 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever. So I mean, we can laugh at it now, but at the time it was like,
it was overwhelming.
Yeah, it was overwhelming to the point where like I needed a break. My mom realized like I needed a break or whatever, so I went to Florida for a little bit. I think I went to Florida for like 2 weeks just to
decompress.
And just to decompress because it was a lot. Because once we got the aid, they left at 8 o'clock. This was a 12-hour shift. Me and my sister, we always coordinate like, okay, who's gonna be home? If we had an event to go to, a party, or whatever the case was, we always made sure that somebody was in the house with her.
Yeah.
So my mom is very thankful for that because she's like, she thinks that that took away from our social life, but it's not that. It's not that. So like, it's not bad.
It didn't matter to you. What was happening outside the world didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
You have one father, and you want to spend every moment, every time with your father. And if that meant for you to stay with him, and it was your turn to just watch him for over
this other stuff, like, yeah, you're young at the time, you're mad, but at the end of the day, it's like, it is what it is.
It's your father.
Right. No doubts about it. Like, just do what we gotta do. And my mom was still working. She had to work now. I mean, she's always working, but she had to work. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Because your mom, we just want to clear this up, is the main breadwinner of the home. And she just have everyone. She's like the umbrella, right? That's covering everyone, multiple people in your home.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You know,
it's a lot. It's a lot for her.
Even before they both got sick or whatnot, you know, I didn't have to work. You know, at the time, like 16, I didn't have to work. I chose to work because I see them working. So for me, I'm like, okay, I gotta work too. So from the time I was 16, I've been working, and I never let her pay any of my bills. Nothing. Like everything was on me.
Guys, I want you guys to listen to what Ashley's saying. Her mom was still primary breadwinner, and she was able to support her family. Hands down, pay for their school, pay for recitals, they had tutoring. She paid for everything, and they never lacked. They had food, the food that a kid would want, all the snacks, and Ashley still decided to go to work. And it's not like she needed to go to work. Whereas me, when growing up, I needed to go to work. And I used to admire Ashley, like, why is she working so many hours? Like, you was working just as much as me. And I'm like, but she wanted a bike, she got her bike. If I needed a bike, I had to figure it out, like, how do I get my next bike? Because I had to try to stay up with Ash and kept up with Ashley. And I admire that every time that Ashley went to work, missed out on events, still didn't care that she was raised under a good foundation, good, wealthy home, and still managed to get up and make her own living and pay her bill. You was not a gold digger. You was not a leech to your mom. You was an amazing daughter to her, you know, and you still are. You know, I remember you kept saying, oh, I gotta iron my mom clothes.
So the thing, and listen, if I gotta iron her uniform, so be it. I'm gonna do it. Like, I'll fret about it a little bit, but you know, it's all good though. You know,
Like, I used to be like, you got iron clothes. What's wrong with it?
no, but like I said, the hours that she be working, like this lady shouldn't have to lift her finger to do nothing. Just come home, sleep. You want to eat, bring her food up for her, let her relax. Yeah, time to go to work, no problem. To the point where like I used to iron her uniforms like a week in advance, so she don't have to bother me. Once I hit the creek, and once I hit the iron board, yeah, once I hit the creek,
let me go,
yeah, you know, so, and one thing too, like I can't complain that I'm tired. I cannot say that I'm tired because I look at this lady get up, go to work. She'll do a 12-hour shift, go straight to the morning, back to the night shift. Right? Go to a party on Saturday, go to church on Sunday, and then Sunday night go back to work. So no excuses. No excuses.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she got a bad day. So no excuses whatsoever. And she's doing 12-hour shifts. I'm doing 8 now. Before I was working like 12 plus. But yeah, like
No excuses.
there's no excuses for me.
And this is why Anti-Wealth Foundation will always be blessed. Her cup is always overflowing, and it overflows to you guys. And that is why I stayed underneath you guys and just kind of allowed myself to I wasn't envious for watching you and your family. I admired them.
And we always welcome you and your sisters.
I thought about it this morning actually. I was like, I could have been someone who was just jealous and been like, how come you have a mom that pays for you this and can do this for you guys and a dad that takes you to recitals, and I never had that.
Yeah, because we would never like braggadocious, we never brag, we never act like my sister and I never act like we were better than anybody. No, we just be humble.
You guys were very
Yeah.
humble,
I agree.
and you guys do not look like what y'all went through. Never, ever, ever. Never, not a day did I see Auntie go. When her mother passed away recently, that was the first day I saw Auntie Gail crying.
And
Like me seeing her, and I'm like, I never seen her.
yeah, when you're around adults, you know, like, you know, we look at them like they're the
Yeah,
superheroes,
they're our
like,
superheroes.
you know.
You gotta be strong, and when she
Yeah.
wrote down, I was like, it's real.
It's like they're human.
They're human.
They're human, just like us.
Yeah.
They're human.
They
you know?
feel just like us.
Mhm.
And you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
If you reap nothing, if you sow nothing, you get nothing. You reap nothing. And you sow great. You sowed with abundance. You sowed the seed with love, compassion, with family, with respect. Guess what the end result will be? Nasha and her family. You guys never will lack in your life. I tell Auntie Hill that all the time. I tell you that all the time. You are so selfless.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know.
It's not-
burden on anybody.
I don't want to say this because you're my best friend and you're my ride or die. I see it.
You kind of lived it with
I
us.
lived it. I lived through it with you guys. Selfless. I asked Ashley, I needed a break and I wanted to go away with my mom and my partner. And I had the 2 kids and I asked Ashley, can she come over my home to watch the kids for me? With no hesitation, with no question, you stopped your life and came over and it was like you knew my home from up and down, just like that.
Listen, guys, you gotta see me, bro.
I'll see you guys. Everything had to be in order. And everything got to be clean. But you're so selfless. And I admire that because I grew up being selfish. I never knew how to be selfless. Right? I saw a lot of selfishness. And I'm like, oh, maybe I have to be the same thing.
And that's the norm.
That's the norm. Right? To be selfish and to not share and to not give and to hold on to that $1 that I have. Because I'm like, I don't have it, so I can't give it to you. But when I saw you pouring into others' life every day, you guys, and you had your own thing going on, I said, I want to be like that. I agree. I said it to myself every day, I want to be like that.
You do such a great job, like I said. You've been through me. I've been through, like, both of us, ups and downs, the highs and lows, you know, the tidal waves, you know, the tsunamis. You know, we've been through it all, so, you know, that's why we always been locked in. We've been locked in ever since, and, you know, that's not gonna change. And, you know,
You never change.
you're like you're not, I don't say you're like my only, but like I can say you are my best friend. You know, and I don't even like saying that term because it doesn't even bother you know. Like my sister, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like my other sister, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, treat you like family, you know, it's without a doubt.
Yeah. The Bible says a blood stick closer, blood stick closer to the water, water stick closer.
Blood is thicker than water.
A brother, a friend can stick closer than brother.
Okay.
Something like that in the Bible.
Yeah.
I don't really know much, but we'll learn together. It's admirable.
Yeah.
It's admirable. And the things that you went through from your mom being sick, your father passing, rest in peace, and your home just kind of turned into like a nursing home, that you guys had your grandmother in there as well, your uncle,
my mom's brother.
and your in-law, your godfather. Everyone passed away within like a year.
Within a year, yeah.
Brother first. Then it was my dad's brother. Then it was my dad. Then it was my uncle / godfather, and then my grandmother. So, and the first two was years before, but within my dad, my godfather, my grandmother, it was like a year. Like 1 year after the next, we lost somebody. So we just, I feel like it happened so much that we kind of got so numb to it. But once we knew that, okay, one is going to the hospital, it's like, oh my gosh, like, is this the end? Are they gonna come back home? And unfortunately, they didn't come back home.
Well, your godfather who passed away was very unexpected.
Yeah, that was very unexpected.
Your grandmother and
my grandmother,
your father. Your grandmother is really.
Oh yeah.
She lived a long
My
life.
grandmother was 95 years old. So, yeah, we do miss her. So, but at the same time too, it's her age.
Yeah.
When my mom says, "Listen, this is it," we know, like, okay, we gotta start mentally preparing ourselves because this is the end. But it happened, and like I said, we have a close-knit family, so we was able to support. Yeah.
Something just resonated in my mind. How do you think that instant death is better than a death that's just kind of dragging?
I mean, it hurts both ways, but the unexpected definitely hurts more because, you're not expecting. Right. There's no closure. It's unexpected. Like, that's why you got to be so grateful every day when you wake up. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow, So like my uncle, my godfather, he was in Florida. He was supposed to be in Florida. And we threw a surprise birthday party for my cousin, which is his daughter. And he came up for that. So I feel like if we didn't have the party, he would have been in Florida and possibly, he would have been by himself, and we would have found him, So I'm kind of glad that he was up here, even though it was sudden, but I'm glad that he was up here with us.
And able to celebrate.
Right, he was able to celebrate and everything.
And he wasn't sick or anything?
I mean, he was sick, but, he was
nothing
managing.
to the extent.
Right, like he was taking medication and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But once again, like, he's another story.
So, do you think, once again, instant death is better or prolonging death is better?
Death is better. No death is better. But
no death is better.
Like I said, the instant death is gonna be harder. Instant death definitely, of course, because it's unexpected.
See, I actually think the other way around, because watching your loved ones suffer, going through that, there's no quality of life, and your whole life changing, your whole life had to be revolved around them, their schedule and work schedule and home schedule and the aid schedule. I kind of think that instant death works better, because sometimes you want that closure, but sometimes just like it's like ripping off that band-aid so suddenly. You're gonna get that shocker, but at least I'm not put through that. And I don't want to sound so selfish, but it takes a strong person to deal with that, right? Like your mom having to deal with all those family members and coming from work and still have to do the tube feedings and changing diapers, and you watch them deteriorate in front of you. It's just like my dad, watching him deteriorate in front of us. I don't think I want to keep that image in my head. That was something that it haunts me to this day.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to my dad, like, yeah, watching him deteriorate, it was heartbreaking, but like we always thought like, okay, he's gonna snap out of it, like when he just get out of his bed and just walk and talk like regular, because like my dad's side of the family, I guess they felt like somebody put like OB on him and somebody did something to him, and it's like, no, it's science. Like there was hope that he was gonna get better, but I mean, I understand where you're coming from too, like watching him deteriorate. But
because like you said when you saw your father come back home, it didn't feel like your father.
It wasn't.
You had this disconnect. You just couldn't understand like who he was at that time. So what do you do with that when someone just don't feel like that person and he doesn't recognize you anymore, and he's now turned into a little kid where you feed him, clothe him, bathe him, and putting him to rest, and what do you do?
Like that's a good question. Like I said, we just dealt with it. Like I get where you're coming from, but we always have that hope that it's gonna turn around. Yeah, it's gonna come out of it, and I think that's what we was hoping for all these years. And then at a certain point, like when we seen like, okay, there's no reversal to it, it's like, all right, we dealt with it. Like the quality of life, I mean, we gave him a good quality of life, as better than if he was like in a home, nursing home or in a hospital. But my mom took great care of my dad. We all did, anybody that stayed, she took good care of them until their last breath.
How do you feel about all your relatives, well, most of them, closed their eyes in that one room? At that one bed.
Well, we got rid of the bed.
Thank God.
Yeah, we got rid of the bed.
That bed needs to go. I think it retired. But how did you guys deal with that? Like, everyone closed their eyes and they laughed at that.
Like, I don't think
in that room.
It didn't affect us because I know for you like.
I told her, turn these pictures around.
We still have like pictures of my grandmother and picture of my dad, even my uncle, like big poster pictures, like in the house.
That's following you, okay?
But it didn't bother us. It doesn't bother us. We just know that we're glad that it happened in the house when everybody was home. Yeah. Like they were surrounded by loved ones. So that's for us, that's a good feeling, because even after every one of them passed and you came over, like we was laughing and joking, like you couldn't understand why y'all so happy. And it's not that we was happy, we was just reminiscing about all the good times, like at the funeral itself, like we was bawling and crying. My cry baby, so I'm always crying, but it didn't bother us.
Yeah, because it was so fascinating to watch that from in your eyes or your family, when death happens, you guys were able to celebrate. You guys were able to laugh and come together. My family died. The people in my family died. It's so heavy. There's no laughing. If you laugh like, did you kill that person? He's a demon. Don't you laugh. Okay? You better be crying with me too. And so, what is it that you guys can do that? Like,
I think it's just culture. Like death is always going to be a sad thing. Yeah. But how you cope with it is what matters. So the person passed, but at the end of the day, we're still alive. We're still alive to tell their story, their legacy that they left behind. And that my family, we always have a good time. You've been around.
Yeah, you guys are turned out.
We have a good time, so we just stick with the fact, like, okay, this person is no longer here with us, but we always gonna keep them in, their memory alive, and just keep on going. Because when everybody did pass, at one point, like the house was really weird. It was quiet. like, I'm always used to somebody being there. So coming home now, you don't see my dad in his chair, or you don't see grandma in the bed, you know?
Yeah.
So
and
it was.
We don't have all those aides.
Yeah,
that you
and
guys
we had amazing
abundance
aides. Yeah,
of aides.
we had like 5 different aides. Like throughout the whole journey, we had a lot more, but then we had like 5 main ones.
Stable aides.
Yeah, and they
were family.
They came like family too. So, you know, anybody that comes into my family or whatever, we treat them like family, you know, because they're there to help us. And if they don't come, then it messes up everybody else's schedule. So everybody got to run around and, you know, rearrange parts or whatnot. So we were very lucky.
Yeah.
We were very lucky and great.
Yeah. So where are we now? How are you coping with things? What are you doing with Ashley?
You know, taking what I've been doing, going to work, you know, started a new job, you know, relationships, long-term relationship. I have you and your kids now. I have my nephew. So I'm just taking it one day at a time. Because I thank God every day that I'm here, that I have good health, that I'm happy. You know, that's all I want.
And you're glowing. You're always glowing. I want to take this time to bring awareness to those who, a lot of women and men, who are battling with cancer, whether it's breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer. Guys, it's so important to, early detection is important, first
Absolutely.
off. Taking care of your health, taking care of yourself is important. It's so significant. And if you can stop something early, why not? If you can detect it early and get treatment early to become in remission and get your quality of life, that means something. So take care of yourself, check yourself out, breast examinations, you know, the mammograms, don't miss it, because you just never know. Thank you for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a light, even when we're in darkness sometimes. Thank you for not looking like what you've been through. Thank you for, there was something in the Bible, a story in the Bible, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was thrown into the fiery furnace and came out unscathed. That is you. You was thrown into the fiery furnace, the darkest furnace, and you came out unscathed, untouched. You never smelled like smoke. And I want you to continue to do what you're doing for your family, for your friends, for the community, for people, for being in law enforcement. That takes a lot of strength, credit. You know, not many people, what we're going through in this world now, can do what you guys are doing, and you do it gracefully. And guys, continue tuning in to TelaTash, where pain speaks and purpose answers, where we heal together, laugh together, and, you know, grow together. See you soon. TelaTash.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in that little person. You have to believe for your kids.
Dang.
Initially, I started.